Welcome back to the Basement Boys podcast. I'm your host Josh with my co-host Mac. It's been a couple weeks. Mac was under the weather and then Easter came around, so we haven't had time to record. Finally getting back into it. Mac, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. Feeling a lot better, just...
You had the suds?
Yeah, the suds. I just went to the doctors and they scrubbed me like a sponge and I'm better now.
There has been stuff going around. Enzo was sick last week, I think, and the wife got sick. I didn't catch it, thank God, but it's that time of year, man. That spring hay fever coming around to get you.
Yeah, pretty much.
But there's been a ton of stuff that's dropped over the past couple of weeks since we've kind of been on hiatus. I don't. We're not going to talk about all of it because it would just be too much. So there's some stuff I really want to talk about. Some trailers that have dropped since then. Obviously, movie news, some movie trailers, and then we'll get into some sports because it's playoff times right now in basketball, and it's been crazy. Baseball's hot right now, so we can jump into that. And then we'll finish up at the end with whatever else we want to talk about. So let's jump into this. We'll start off with some movie news for Marvel. Some Spider-Man news dropped earlier this week. J.K. Simmons and Zendaya are both coming back for Spider-Man 4. I think this was, at least Zendaya was kind of a given. JK's pretty cool. I'm glad that he's returning again to keep playing Jameson because I love him as that character.
Yeah.
From everything I've read, though, Zendaya is supposed to be a minor role, and I think it kind of makes sense with the recent casting of Sadie Sink because everyone kind of assumes she's MJ or at least a different love interest. So obviously I don't think they're just going to go right back to the well with Zendaya right away, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think they need to focus on him more because also it's like just in general based off where we left off and stuff like that, it makes sense why they would, she'd probably be minor and she might have her own, maybe her own, subplot and stuff like that, but I don't think they're probably going to be tied together, with Peter's plot, just kind of, to show what her and, God, I forget, is it Nate? I don't know. I'm just making up a name.
Oh, Ned?
Ned. Oh, dang, I knew it was an N-word. Name.
Yeah, God, I don't know if he's going to be in it at all. I have no idea if he's returning. I don't think there's been any news about him returning.
That sucks because he's, fun, enjoyable.
Yeah, but we need to get Harry, man. Get some Harry action up in here.
Yeah.
They should just recast James Franco as Harry.
That would be so weird.
50-year-old James Franco and Tom Holland just hanging out, going to the movies together.
Yeah, just in college. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's
could you imagine Harry just bringing home I mean, obviously he's almost our age in real life, but in the movies, I think he's probably supposed to be 21 around this time this film comes out. Just imagine a 50-year-old Harry Osborn bringing Peter home to Norman, hey Dad, this is my friend Peter.
Yeah.
We met at the ball game.
And then Norman just sighs and he's just Harry, can you just get a job, please? For the love of God.
Stop bumming off me. Piece of shit. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, like I said, this was kind of a given, I guess. So it's cool. I like both these actors, so it'll be fun. There's a report that dropped today that there are going to be a handful. Actually, I don't even know how many it's supposed to be, but I guess numerous from the report. One-off heroes and villains that'll make their debut and last on-screen appearance, I guess, in Doomsday and Avengers: Secret Wars. Which,
I just picture a montage though, because I'm for how many people are in this movie? I just feel you know what I mean? I just feel I just hope it's not unfocused and kind of hoping to remember when things were good early in the MCU, type of that stuff like that, and I'm just I just hope it's not that because I don't know, it's kind of I'm my expectations.
There's just so many people in it already. No, I see. I know what you're saying.
My expectations for an Avengers movie directed by the Russo brothers are probably as low as they have been since maybe since it was kind of cold on like the first Avengers when I first like when it was first like released. I was kind of like team up movies. Oh man, they like look at the Fantastic Four. Like there's a lot of characters in that. It's like those don't turn her out. But then it ended up being awesome. And 3 films later, just one of the highest peaks in probably the MCU. Like probably in like in like some cinema like history type of thing.
Yeah. I'm curious who these characters are going to be because we're dealing with like multiversal stuff too. I know I've seen there's no insight as of right now, but like it could either be there's kind of 2 camps right now from what I'm seeing. It could either be or it could be a mix of both, but it could be like characters who are just like kind of like B-list, C-list characters in the comics, and they're just like, hey, this character's kind of cool, but we could never warrant giving them their own show or story or whatever, so let's just toss them in here.
Yeah,
Or
they
it
might
could-
like be like kind of like, oh, like they'll make an appearance and be in a fight,
Yeah.
but like get either knocked out and maybe be in stuff later,
Or just
or
get killed.
or just get killed off, basically.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks because it's like kind of, I don't know if it like, it's like, yeah, it pays homage to them, but
Yeah.
then like, but at the same time, I feel like it's just like,
Yeah.
here you go, here's a treat, basically.
Yeah, so it could be that. It could also be like it could be like like when the MCU started, it could be like the almost casted actors. Like a lot of people are bringing up maybe we'll finally see like Tom Cruise Iron Man in this. You know what I mean?
Be hilarious.
Because it is multiversal, so we could see a multiverse Tony Stark.
Do you think
Like
Tom
the
Cruise would do it
Tommy.
now?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think he knows that these movies have a large following, and he just enjoys movies in general. So I think he would. I don't know. It could be something like that, which I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I wish this storyline was 3 films. As much as I love Infinity War and Endgame, part of me wishes those movies were a 3-film arc as well. I just think it gives like the characters in the story more time to breathe. And it's like with Infinity War 2, like when I go back and rewatch it and think back on it, I'm kind of interested in like the 5 years that took place in between the movies where like the world was decimated, like what happened, like Hulk becoming Professor Hulk and everything like that. How it
Yeah,
really
and kind of
moved on.
seeing like they kind of
Yeah.
like just don't really talk about it. They just say he figured it out, which kind of that's my also biggest gripe. They kind of like fumbled Hulk's like Hulk
Yeah.
in the comics is so much cooler than he is in MCU.
Yeah.
They just kind of don't know how to make a Hulk movie, and I feel like they're afraid to make like go
They
into
also-
like psychological and kind of like be weird with it, because most Hulk comics are kind of weird and psychological to an extent because he's like duality, keep the dual character,
Yeah.
like basically.
I also don't think they want to pay Universal. Like they're already paying Sony, and they're just like, we don't want to deal with that. So like, because that's the only way they can make a solo one is if they pay Universal the right fees or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But he should have been in Captain America 4. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but it's on Disney Plus now. Like it's not a good movie, but it's incredible that Hulk's not in it. It makes zero
Yeah.
sense. Like both main villains of the movie are Hulk villains, and they're just like, yep, he's not here. But
Yeah. Do you think?
Yes.
I was gonna say. I mean, based without like spoiling too much. Do you think they might use those villains in later roles, or no? Based on how it ended.
They could.
You can-
I mean, they could use both.
Yeah.
I mean, God willing, Harrison's Ford doesn't die before that. Like the dude's
Yeah.
like 84.
Yeah.
Um,
So maybe.
But they
Yeah.
could bring back Tim Blake Nelson. I mean, I hope they would and improve on his character because he's a really cool character in the comics, and they kind of fumble him in the movie. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. So I don't know. I guess we'll see who all these one-off characters are. There was also a report that Iron Fist could be coming back for Doomsday, which is to me a weird report. Like, why would it be Iron Fist over Daredevil, like all the other Netflix defenders,
Yeah.
like Daredevil, Jessica Jones, which I would love all 4 of them to come back for the Avengers movie. I would love to see all 4 of them back on Disney Plus in general, because that first Iron Fist season isn't great. It got a lot of heat when it came out, but it's honestly not as terrible as the reviews make it out to be. And season 2 is way better. Like, I actually enjoy season 2. And like, he's a cool character. I don't know. I'd like to see all four of them come back.
Yeah, I would like. I mean, like even if they like have, because I know they have multiple Iron Fists and multiple
Yeah, it's like a mantle.
Yeah, even if they like recast them, but like in season like 1, he kind of didn't. I feel like he kind of didn't know how to act like Danny Rand, and then in season 2, he kind of figured it out and was kind of like, because Danny Rand's kind of cocky, and he was the opposite of that. But I think isn't season 2 of Daredevil like Born Again coming out before we get?
It comes out May of next year.
It comes out May,
so it'll be like a month before Doomsday, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so maybe that will like kind of answer why like Daredevil's not in it, because I mean it kind of where it left off kind of like sets up New York in bad spot.
It could, yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, yeah, it was just weird. I thought like Iron Fist is the one the report came out about, but there's supposed to be like they're making that Eyes of Wakanda animated show, and there's supposed to be a different Iron Fist in that. So I don't know.
That's cool.
Could be like his trainee or something. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, we're getting the X-Men in Doomsday are getting comic accurate uniforms, which I am excited about. They kind of like, I think it was X-Men Apocalypse in the post-credit scene or like the last scene in the movie. They had them all dressed up in their comic uniforms, and I was like, this looks fucking awesome. And then they never used them again. It was just like that one 30-second scene, and then that was it. And they just teased everybody to never get them. So I'm like, I've wanted this for so long. I thought, like, for a while, I was like, these would look so fucking goofy on live action. Like, I don't think it would work. But then, like, Deadpool and Wolverine, like, it worked. Like,
yeah, it looked. I was like, I would say it just kind of. I felt like it looked okay. I feel like the mask for Wolverine.
You can't do
cool.
the mask for Wolverine.
Yeah, it looks
goofy.
It looks cool in comics because it's like, I don't know, like animated and like comics kind of like just like it's suspended belief because it's like, oh, because he's just cool, he just looks sick. And it's weird that it just doesn't translate, but it kind of makes sense because it's like one's on paper drawn and the other is designed, and it's kind of like, oh yeah. But I mean, I hope that they do that, because sometimes the like costumes of like in the MCU can kind of be like bland and boring and kind of like all too samey. Looking at kind of Guardians of the Galaxy, because that's probably my least favorite costumes in the MCU.
Yeah. They kind of gave, in the Deadpool movies, they kind of gave Colossus a comic accurate one. He didn't have like his shoulder blade pad things, but like he kind of had like the top he usually has and everything. And
I mean, he looked good.
So I don't know. I mean, I'm excited about it, especially with like the resurgence of X-Men '97. Like all their costumes in that show look so good, and it's just like I'd love to see. Like Nightcrawler's costume has always been sweet.
They should let Ian McKellen grow his hair out and just try to get capture the 97 look. I mean, he had long hair for Gandalf. Like, I know it's kind of mostly wig, but like he probably had longer hair.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I think this could be really cool. I hope they don't just tease it with us like they did and take it away. I hope it's like this in Doomsday, and then they bring them back for like, because I know the next saga after these Avengers movies is supposed to be like more like mutant heavy. So I hope they keep those costumes around.
Yeah, I kind of hope they like kind of, instead of just constantly like, I know it's harder to do live action stuff because people age and you can't just constantly be doing voices and then can constantly bring back them for roles after like so long. But I hope they kind of like rotate rotate characters in and out of like yearly and just like focus on them just to get a like have a saga for them, just kind of like focus on that storyline instead of kind of being all over the place how they are kind of right now, it feels like.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that's the better move. All right, let's jump over to DC. So just a few things for DC, honestly. There hasn't been much that come out. I've noticed that DCU under James Gunn has kept tight lips about a lot of stuff. But there's some snippets here and there. Peacemaker is returning this August, which is awesome. I loved season 1 of that show. It is DCU canon. I've talked about this before. I think it's just like James Gunn says things from Suicide Squad is canon, but that movie's not canon. And then things from Peacemaker season 1 are canon, but not the entire series is canon. I'm under the mindset of like all 3 of these are canon. Like just make them all 3 canon.
Yeah, I think you might. It's like instead of just picking things that are canon. I mean, maybe it was because when he like kind of the last time he mentioned it was canon, it was kind of like in the midst of him becoming in charge of it.
Yeah.
Because he kind of hasn't really. I feel like he hasn't really said much more recently about things from each show being canon, other than whether or not they are. But I feel like as we get deeper and deeper, Peacemaker is probably just canon, and it doesn't matter. If he isn't, it doesn't really matter because that first season was pretty good.
Yeah. I think he said, I'm pretty sure James Gunn said that in Peacemaker they're going to address the universe change in some fashion. Whether it's like a joke or I don't know.
What if it just
I don't know
like the first episode? It's just like remember in Top Gun at the beginning where Tom Cruise talks, or is that Mission Impossible? I forget which one movie it was. It was Top Gun, I think, where Tom Cruise comes out. You just see James Gunn. He's like, "Hey, bet you're wondering about the canon," and he just starts going a spiel about it. That'd be kind of funny.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. But I am excited for this show to return. And like we haven't gotten a trailer yet, but there was that HBO like summer premiere trailer with like Last of Us and Peacemaker season 2 and a bunch of that, and there was a couple scenes from it. It looks good. I mean, I enjoy John Cena in roles like this. I think he's hilarious. So
yeah,
he is in his own right. I mean, he's a good actor. He's like some of those wrestlers who turn actors. Like a lot of times, it's just like,
yeah, they're just okay, or like they kind of like can play one archetype or role. Yeah. Unless you're Dave Bautista, you can just do it all.
Yeah, I genuinely think him and Dave Bautista are both very talented actors. Like Dave Bautista in like Blade Runner, I was surprised by that. I was like, wow, like he's not in that movie for very long, but
no,
he is in it.
Though he is giant in it, he still plays. It's not like Dave Bautista. It's like he is still Dave Bautista, but also like then you look at Dave Bautista in Glass Onion, and that's probably the most different role he's played. Probably the closest to Drax, but like, but definitely like kind of different as far as like completely leaning into comedy. But yeah.
Then we got some over the past 2 weeks, a bunch of Superman behind the scenes photos dropped, which showed us a lot of the kind of supporting cast behind the scenes, and there were some really cool ones. Like I texted you the other day. I think Metamorpho looks really good with like the practical effects and everything. Yeah, like the makeup looks incredible.
I think honestly, everyone in that movie just looks good. Like the design, even like though you're not a huge fan of the wet wrestler style suit underwear like like for Superman, it still looks like. It's grown
on me. It's grown on me. I do like the S on the back of the cape, too. That's a nice touch.
It's just like the simple changes of like. Yeah. I think I already like it better than Man of Steel suit. It's brighter and more vibrant. I think that's why I like it more, because it's just the movie just like I'm just tired of kind of not being able to see colors or having like a filter over colors,
like the muted tones.
I like my superhero movies to be bright and colorful.
Look, I'm a huge defender of Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. I still think, as it stands right now, like obviously Superman hasn't come out yet. I think Man of Steel is my favorite Superman movie, to be honest. I think that movie gets more heat than it deserves. But I agree with you. Like that suit was way too like dark, too muted. I didn't mind the design of the suit, but like with like just toning down the color, it just takes so much away from his outfit. But this one is growing on me. I will say I'm not a fan of Hawkgirl's costume. I don't know what it is. It looks like her character looks like she picked it up at like a Halloween costume store. I don't like it.
I mean, she might have.
I just like, I don't know what it is.
I think And also, like, you have to look at it. These are like stills and photos. So like when
Yeah.
it's in motion and like when it's like has all its effects and stuff like that because they're behind the scenes. So it's like, though, how much like you don't know how much like
Yeah.
how much
I-
digital editing they're going to be doing.
I think my issue with the Hawkgirl thing is like in the comics, this character is like her origins are tied heavily to. There's like three different versions of Hawkgirl. This one though is supposed to be like she's I don't even know how to say this. She's controlled by the reincarnated soul of the original Hawkgirl, pretty much.
That's wild.
But whichever one it is, like their origin is deeply tied to like ancient Egypt, and so I wish that the costume like reflected that. You know what I mean? I wish it had some like Egyptian style and things like that, and like integrated into it. I think that'd be really cool. I mean, it's not terrible, but I'm not a big fan of it. That's my only gripe, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought everyone else's costumes and like a lot of the sets and everything looked really good. A lot of
Yeah.
practical effects, which I love.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, honestly, both of the like the both summer movies, superhero movies. I'm just hearing like good things from like little tidbits from the directors, like where they're using practical effects, where they're using all of
Yeah.
that, which I am here for because practical effects just age better than CGI.
Oh, for sure.
10 out of 10 times. It's why Star Wars still looks good.
Oh
It's
my
why
god, dude! You go back and watch New Hope. Like when you first see a Star Destroyer, you're like, "That looks so fucking good." Like,
yeah,
and
exactly.
It's just a little model ship against a black backdrop. It's insane.
It also is like because of like just general art direction of like
Yeah.
some things too as well. Like sometimes just let artists cook and let them design things, and instead of trying to say like take your have a control over that, just let them cook.
It's crazy, man. Like even a lot of the stills of the Death Star and everything from the original Star Wars are like matte paintings, and it's just like they look insanely good.
It's why Lord of the Rings looks good. It's why
Yeah.
like it looks so much better than The Hobbit. Like at times,
Yeah.
which
All
I
the
still
time. What do you mean at times? All
like.
the time.
Like there's some stills that like look good. I don't know. It's just like it just like CGI for whatever reason, just despite it looking pretty at the time, just doesn't age well.
Yeah.
Like AKA, never mind. I'm just not. That's gonna get us on a tangent. I'm not gonna even mention Beast Wars.
Anyway, yeah. Speaking of Star Wars, let's jump over there. There was I think it was the Star Wars Japan celebration, maybe or something.
Yeah,
Some
think
sort
so.
of Star Wars celebration. They announced a bunch of titles. We're never going to see them. Let's just face it. We're going to see like one of these 8 movies.
We will probably see this Ryan Gosling Starfighter
Yeah,
movie. I
so
feel like.
Ryan Gosling Starfighter. He's supposed to be a Jedi, I think, in it. Is from what I read. But also a pilot. So I guess just Luke.
What if it's just?
Basically.
What if
I
it
don't-
or any Jedi basically? Because you look and
Yeah.
most Jedi's are good at piloting. What if it's just the exact like plot of Drive, but he's just in a starfighter?
That'd be hilarious. He's just
That would be so amazing.
beating people to a pulp.
Yeah.
It's directed by Sean Levy, who did Deadpool and Wolverine. And he's done a bunch of. Is his name Sean Levy? No, it's not. What is his name? I thought it was Sean Levy. It's something Levy.
I can find it real quick. It is Sean Levy at Levy.
Oh, did I spell? I think I probably spelled.
Levy. Levy.
Yeah,
Levy.
Sean Levy. Oh, I spelled Sean wrong. That's why. He's done a bunch of movies with Ryan Reynolds, I think. Or he's done a couple movies with Ryan Reynolds. He did that like Mark Ruffalo Ryan Reynolds movie a couple years back. He did Free Guy, which I never really saw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't know. I've seen like 2 of his movies, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he did.
I've seen all 3 Night at the Museum, so I don't mind those.
He did. Yeah, I was gonna say.
So I don't know.
So-
I mean, he's good at big. I mean, he's done big budget stuff, so you know he can helm a project like this at least.
Most of his stuff does tend to lead on the comedic side of things, so we'll see. So I'm guessing. I mean, like Ryan Gosling is funny. I mean, like if you've seen, like he was funny in the Barbie movie, and I'm trying to think of what other movies he's been funny in. That's the only one that comes to mind. But he's he's funny. Like, oh yeah, what is it? The other guys, or what movie is he in with Rocco? But so he's known, he can be funny. But yeah.
So this movie's supposed to take place 5 to 6 years after the Rise of Skywalker. So that's kind of a time period we haven't, except for The Mandalorian, we haven't really explored that much.
Mm-hmm. I just hope they kind of keep continuing the Star Wars timeline and kind of like, or like, if you're gonna do the timeline, do it not tied to anything. Just do something in the Outer Rim or something that's not affected by the Empire or Republic or Rebels and stuff like that.
It's kind of like what Skeleton Crew was. I don't know if you ever saw Skeleton Crew.
Nope.
I didn't mind it. It's good. It's way more kid focused than a lot of recent Star Wars has been, but it's not a bad thing. I don't know. My expectations are pretty much nothing for this. I'm like, Star Wars is the movie franchise that got me into movies. Like, the first live action movie I ever remember watching was A New Hope, and I fell in love with movies after that. And it's just like the way that Star Wars has just been disrespected by Disney the past decade. I'm just kind of over it.
I think it's like a problem is people taking it way more serious than it is which also exacerbates the problem, but then them kind of being also afraid to take risks, but when they do take risks, it's still kind of safey.
I don't like the new trilogy at all. I think they're bad, but I also think the fandom reacted way too much to those movies.
They literally, like most things, I feel like they react to everything with rose-colored glasses of nostalgia and expect to feel the same thing they felt when they first watched A New Hope and all of those movies. And it's just dude, you guys are all most of us are the people reacting we liked the new trilogy, the Revenge of the Sith stuff of that. Though they weren't technically great movies, I still like them. As they're still fun to watch. As far as movies, and I think they're better than as far as overall consistency. I think they're better than the new trilogy.
Yeah. I think this movie, the Ryan Gosling factor is the thing for it, though. They've started to cast big name actors in these roles now, like Pedro Pascal, like Jude Law, Skeleton Crew. But yeah, I think they're starting to realize they need heavy hitting talent for these movies to maybe be successful. But so they unveiled some of these were announced almost 8 years ago. So who knows if we're ever going to get them. We're still going to get a Rey trilogy, apparently, which is going to be... The way they were talking, it sounds like episodes 10, 11, and 12, I guess. They're still going to keep that episode whatever. There's going to be a Dave Filoni film. I don't really know... It's supposed to be set in the New Republic era. Mandalorian and Grogu, that's already... that movie is coming out. They've already wrapped production on that. That's supposed to...
Yeah.
That's supposed to be the finale for Ahsoka, the Mandalorian shows, and everything. It's supposed to tie everything up. So it's possible that Luke might come back for that movie. Maybe we're supposed to be getting a James Mangold directed film set in the Old Republic. I hope we get that because we never have really gotten any Old Republic stuff except for The Acolyte, which was awful.
Yeah.
So that'd be cool. That's a timeline I've wanted them to explore forever. A Taika Waititi film, who I have no idea what this is supposed to be. I don't really know if anyone
I just
does.
feel I just feel like he just took on all this stuff after Ragnarok, and literally because of the success of Ragnarok, he bit off more than he can chew. Even though I think I did not really like Love and Thunder other than Christian Bale. It's literally when if you rewatch that movie, it's two different movies glued together.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. We're supposed to be getting a Lando Disney Plus series, which was announced in 2018 and still never happened. But apparently Donald Glover is writing it.
That would be kind of crazy.
So we'll see. I didn't love Solo, so I don't know.
I mean,
And then-
if Donald Glover's writing it, I mean, I fucking love Atlanta, so like, yeah.
And then we're still supposed to be getting a Patty Jenkins directed Rogue Squadron, which was announced in 2020 and never came to fruition. But we'll see. She said she signed a new contract to direct it, so I don't know. She hasn't directed anything since Wonder Woman 84, which was bad, so I don't know. There's the whole slew of new Star Wars projects, I guess, that we'll probably see like 25% of them, if I had to guess.
Yeah,
So
I
who
think
knows?
honestly, it just feels like they all announced them at the same time, and it just is like,
Yeah.
one day you'll get these. Maybe you might die before it happens, or not.
Yeah, I'm not excited about it. Disney's been doing this with a lot of stuff. Like, Marvel's guilty of it, too, with Blade, with Armor Wars.
I just wish
pretty
they
much
wouldn't-
They
I
canceled
wish,
Armor Wars,
like,
too, I think.
Like, just I'd hate like it's like, yeah, it's nice to know what's coming eventually, but at the same time, I'd rather not know because it kind of takes the suspense out of the films.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I remember seeing, what was it, Iron Man 2 in theater, and seeing, like, the Thor hammer, end credit scene, and I was like, oh, fuck, we're getting a Thor movie? Like,
Exactly,
back
like-
in the day before, like, I mean, I think all that Hall H stuff at San Diego Comic-Con was still going on, but, like, it wasn't as heavily broadcast, so it's just, like, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll
Yeah,
get
they
more
just
of
got
these.
too. It just got too big, which is like expected because they make most of these movies make like almost $1 billion now.
Yeah.
But like, I just miss not knowing what a movie was going to be until I saw it, or at
Yeah.
least like the trailer, and like just because like if you're already announcing like a trilogy, or like oh, they're gonna be in this movie, like oh, so like this suspenseful scene, I like they're all just gonna survive. Like, oh, good. Now that takes death out of the equation.
Yeah, that was kind of the thing when they did the Doomsday announcement, because, like, the whole cast, basically, for Thunderbolts was listed, and it's just like, oh, okay, so I guess nobody in this movie dies.
Yeah, it's like, oh, cool.
But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Star Wars is whatever to me now. I don't really give a shit, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's like until like I see it, and I'll just wait till it comes out, and then I'll maybe watch it, maybe not. Like, and if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. It's not gonna hurt my feelings any.
Yeah. All right, let's jump over to some trailers, because we had honestly a ton of trailers premiere. I only picked out 4 of them because, like, we did get some really good ones for, like, there's Wes Anderson's new movies coming out, and
Yeah,
Ari, what's his name?
Ari Aster.
Yeah, Ari Aster's new movie's coming out. Those trailers look great. No disrespect to him, but since it's been a couple weeks, I just kind of picked out the good ones, or the big ones. So the biggest one, we got the official trailer for Fantastic Four: First Steps, and it looks very good. in
It
my
looks
opinion.
so good.
Like, I have not, this and Thunderbolts, I haven't seen a lot of Marvel trailers lately that have, like, wowed me. And I
Yeah.
was just like, oh, this looks incredible. The set designs looks incredible.
The character
The
design.
costume designs,
Yeah.
yeah.
Silver Surfer looks so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, she looks fucking cool.
Yeah, I know we haven't seen, we haven't really gotten a close-up of Galactus, but I love everything I'm seeing so far. Like,
The boot.
Yeah, he looks huge. He looks,
And
Just-
I'm pretty sure that whole like boot scene is just practical effect.
with like a miniature or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That'd be pretty sweet. Yeah, but I love the throwback, like, 50s, 60s style. I think that all works so well with these characters. I don't know. It looks really good. I love the cast. Like, obviously, Pedro Pascal probably is not only one of my favorite actors working today, but he's probably in some of my favorite actors of all time.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, he's like quickly moved up to that role of like, who's this guy in Game of Thrones to, wow, he's in everything.
Yeah. And then I love Vanessa Kirby. I don't know if you ever watched The Crown, but she's in The Crown. She
Oh, really?
She plays the Queen's sister,
Oh,
Margaret,
cool.
I think. She's phenomenal in it, and I love her in the Mission Impossible movies too. So she's awesome. Ebon Moss-Bachrach is great in The Bear.
Mm-hmm.
And then who plays Johnny? What's his name?
Joseph Quinn.
Been in Joseph Quinn. He's been in everything. He was in Warfare.
Yeah, he's pretty good in that.
He's been in everything. Like, he was great in Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the newest the John Krasinski horror movies.
Yeah.
Quiet Place. He was in the Quiet Place, the newest Quiet Place. He was good in that too.
Is that the TV show? Was he in the TV show, or was he in the?
No,
the day one.
The Day One. Yeah.
Oh, is that a movie? It's not a show.
Yeah.
I thought it was a show.
It's a movie.
Okay. Well, dang.
Yeah, but he's really good, and I think just from the trailers, I think they're nailing the characterizations, like the comic characterizations of these characters so well. Like,
also, just in general, I was nervous at first about before I saw the thing, but then every single scene with him in it is just looks so good, and they're literally in the trailer him pulling that thing. That
boat?
ship,
yeah.
I feel like that scene is just there to show their chops as we fucking got this shit, just to show, because I feel like there's that scene with a CGI character interacting with water is always there just to show how great their CGI team is, basically.
Yeah,
because that's usually hard to do, interact a CGI character with water and stuff like that to make it look real.
And we got the reason for the subheader for First Steps, which it was rumored about for a while, but Sue is pregnant in the movie, so their child in the movie is extremely powerful. He can warp reality and things like that. So there's been a rumor floating around that the reason Galactus comes to Earth is because he wants their child because of his power, which could be possible. I mean, in the comics, Galactus is from an older universe that was born into our universe, pretty much. He's the only surviving entity from the ancient universe.
I just hope we get that one scene. That art piece of Galactus about to swallow Earth. I just hope we get that. That art piece is sick as hell.
Yeah, it looks cool. The action looks cool. We finally got Reed's stretchy powers, which look good.
I think they look good, and it's though it is brief, but I think it just shows that it's kind of they're kind of being restrained about it because Reed doesn't really like to use his powers unless he has to. So that's kind of comic accurate as well, because I'm sure. I just hope we get a bunch of random gadgets that Reed made, or things that he's made to enhance everyone else's powers, and kind of just showing how smart he is and stuff like that, because it's kind of though Iron Man is smart at the same time, but I feel Reed might be considered one of the smartest characters in the Marvel universe.
He for sure is. Yeah.
So hopefully they show that, and kind of I think this might, hopefully it's not just come off as comedy all the time, and just kind of I don't know, just showing.
It does seem like it'll have a lot of heart and depth to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks good. Maybe we'll get a tease for at the end of Thunderbolts or something. Who knows?
Yeah, just to kind of know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But it's right around the corner. This trailer actually just dropped yesterday. It was the Predator Badlands trailer. So this is from Dan Trachtenberg, who also did Prey, which I thought was great. I've never been a big fan of the Predator movies.
I like Predator 1 and 2, sorry. But the Predators and the Predator I didn't really care for.
Yeah, it's the same with the Alien. I like some of the Alien. The original Alien's fantastic. I love Prometheus. The Covenant's popcorn flick, whatever. It's there's a lot of dumb shit in that movie, but I still have fun with it. Aliens is good. It's a good action movie. I'm excited for Alien Earth. But I've never I hated the Alien vs Predator movies.
Oh yeah, I didn't really like them.
It seems like they're kind of setting up for that, but a more
futuristic,
nuanced,
more kind
serious.
More serious, and kind of delving into the lore of both Alien and Predator more so, to make it more because I'm pretty sure the is it there's an android in it. It's one. Is that Ellie Fanning? Or is it Dakota? Yeah, but I'm pretty sure she's
Yeah,
supposed to be.
she's a Wayland
Yutani.
Yeah,
Yeah.
android. So they're obviously connecting it to the Alien franchise. Just
Yeah,
with
so-
that alone.
Did, I'm pretty sure also like that centerpiece is supposed to be a nod to like Independence Day or War of the Worlds, kind of like, you know, when in the scene with all the skulls on the wall, that one in the middle kind of looks suspiciously like the one in ones in Independence Day, those aliens.
Yeah.
But
No, it looks good though. I enjoyed Prey a lot. I think just going back to basics with the Predator films like that.
kind of,
Yeah. They're making I think there's like isn't there a Netflix like anime show
Yeah,
coming out in between?
yeah, and it also looks really good too. Like it kind of
What
looks
is that
like
called? Dan Trachtenberg did that as well. He's
it's
just
like
kinda-
it's like Predator, like bad, like I don't know, it's something very simple. Predator and killer of killers. I'm pretty sure that's
it's an anthological film, so it's not a show.
no. That's not, wait. It's not. Is it? Yeah, Killer of Killers. Is
They're
that
the fiercest warriors in human history: a Viking, a ninja, and a samurai.
Yeah, yeah. It's Killer of Killers, and that looks pretty cool too.
Huh? They have to take on a predator. Yeah, so I don't know. It'll be cool. It looks like a fun action movie. So maybe we'll get like a, I don't know. Maybe they'll be able to combine this universe in a more serious fashion than like the B movie schlock that they did before.
Yeah, I just know that the one, like, they kind of just like, I don't think they understood the Predator at all. Like, kind of like when they were making these other movies, and kind of like how they're just trying to go after the strongest warrior of each like era versus like that's why they try to, like, they're just a warrior like species. So like,
Yeah.
and them just like, I don't know. I think this is like leaning more into the sci-fi element of them kind of makes it them kind of cooler as far as like the movies because I feel like I love sci-fi movies, but there's not enough good ones.
Yeah. No, you're right. Then we got a teaser for. You're really excited about this one. I am too, but I just don't even know what to expect from it at this point. But we got a teaser trailer, very, very brief teaser for the movie Weapons coming out.
I'm more excited because I like weird marketing for movies.
It is weird marketing.
But I think like it's like the same with Longlegs, which ended up just being an okay movie. But the marketing and the hype for that movie was crazy. It was just so weird and scary. And
Honestly,
this one,
there's nothing creepier to me, to be honest. Like, this is a horror movie.
Uh-huh.
There's nothing creepier to me than these scenes in this teaser with kids just running past, like, Ring door cameras and shit.
yeah, and like with their
It's
arms
so
out, like
weird.
that is so. Oh my! Like you just look out your window and you just see that, and I would just lock my doors, go to the basement, and just lock myself into a closet because, like, usually in every single like horror film, if you look at the window and you see something, it's coming for your house.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I don't really know what I think the plot of this movie is, like, these kids all disappear at the same time.
Yeah, they like it says that they disappeared one day. A whole like 27 kids just got up at 2:17 and disappeared. So, as much as I love horror movies, I just hope it's not like very sad, very depressing, and it ends up being like just something awful. Like as far as like, you know, with kids being involved and stuff like that. I just hope it's more like weird and like creepy rather than just like, I don't want to be completely messed up after a movie, but
Yeah.
I mean, if it
It's
is,
hard. Dude, for me as a father now, like, it's hard with movies like they involve kids. I just like, it's a whole nother level of like emotional for me at this point. I'm just like, fuck, man, kids, I can't do this. But the cast looks good. I mean, I love Josh Brolin, and then Julia Garner's in it. Alden Ehrenreich, Benedict Wong, who I love.
yeah.
So it could be good. You know, we haven't gotten a lot, but it looks interesting at least, I would say.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to come out soonish, right?
August.
Yeah.
August.
So that's not That's closer than I'm thinking, because it is maybe only April, but August will be here soon.
Yeah. And then the last trailer I wanted to talk about, probably the second biggest trailer that's come out in the past 2 weeks. We got like the final trailer for Mission Impossible, and it looks incredible.
Yeah.
These movies, I was never a fan of these movies growing
Mm-hmm.
up, and then I remember I went and saw Fallout in the theater because everybody was like, Fallout is like the best
Mm-hmm.
movie of the year. And I was like, whatever, dude. Like, I was kind of at this like spot with Tom Cruise where I didn't really give a shit.
Yeah.
And then I saw Fallout in the theater. I was like, oh my god, I need to go back and watch all of these movies. Because I had only seen like one of them before that.
Yeah.
So I went back and watched all of them. And now I'm like a fanboy of this franchise.
Yeah, I will say I really like I liked the first one. Second one was okay. Third one,
trash.
yeah. Second one's okay. Third one's it's good, but I still think it's like the best ones of the series are like after 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I think 3 is responsible for turning the franchise into what it is today, though.
Yeah, I think so too. But
yeah, like everything after that, like Ghost Protocol and Rogue Nation, all of them, they're just so good. And the last one, I mean, we saw it when it came out in theater.
Dead Reckoning.
Yeah, it was so good, dude.
My only problem with this is just literally the title, The Final Reckoning. It just is like, yeah, but at the same time, what else are you going to call it? And I kind of hope this is a closing of that series, because I feel like
I've heard mixed things. People keep saying it's a send off for Tom Cruise in the series, and then there's people.
he just reveals that he has like a 20-year-old son in real life, and he's just going to take over the franchise for the next 60 years.
Yeah, or his character dies in the movie. They reveal he has a son in the movie, and it's just Tom Cruise with CGI defacing.
Or no, they
4
just
years.
the kid takes off his mask and it's just Tom Cruise.
Mission Impossible style.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It looks really good though. Tom Cruise is taking on AI. It seems like just fuck. I mean, that was kind of the plot of the last one, sort of. But
Yeah.
it seems like there's that part in the trailer where he's like going into like a suit, and it's like I'm on like, is he getting digitally downloaded? Like,
Are we doing
looks
a
crazy.
Tron real quick?
yeah. So I don't know. It looks really good. I'm very excited for this. This summer blockbuster movie season is going to be crazy.
Yeah, it's been like this year seems like it's like kind of a return to how it used to be as far as like
COVID.
Well, yeah, and before COVID and before all the like straight to streaming crap that that I think yeah, it's convenient and it's nice at the same time, but at the same time it's like no, I think despite like the price of snacks, like seeing things in theaters is still just fun. It's still good and it's still enjoyable. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah, maybe it's not as comfortable as sitting in your house, but still, it's just like this, like especially a well-designed audio film like that just has good sound design. Just oh god, it's so good.
Yeah, it's amazing. All right, let's jump into our movie of the week. So this week we're talking about The Accountant 2.
Mm-hmm.
Not as big of a premiere, I feel like, as most movies that are just around the corner, but it's still kind of a big premiere. I mean, the first one was pretty well received for the most part. I enjoyed the first one. Like, it has issues kind of towards the third act, I think, but
Yeah.
it's still a fun action movie. And I like Ben Affleck as this character. He's just kind of like this weird, deadpan,
Yeah.
like emotionless, like lethal assassin.
Yeah. Definitely, it is like kind of like playing on like he's only good at like two things basically.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think just to start off, like, I like this movie. I thought this was a fun action movie. I don't think it's like incredible or anything, but I do think I enjoyed it more than the first one, and I think the reason I enjoyed it more than the first one is because Jon Bernthal's in it more.
Yeah, I think so too, and just like his chemistry with Ben Affleck's character, like the character chemistry between the two brothers is really good. I think I saw the first one in theater with my brother just randomly, and then I saw this one announced, and I was like, I just didn't feel like they really needed to make a second one, but here we are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those sequels that are just like, oh. And especially since the first one came out so long ago. I'm trying to think.
Dude, it was like almost 10 years ago, I think.
Yeah, let me look up the content. It was literally 9 years ago.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, like I thought this was fun. The cast in it's great. Like it kind of has the same problems I had with the first movie. Like the plot is just kind of like a little silly. Like with the whole institute running like his hits and whatnot. And, like that's kind of that whole part I didn't really love in the first one. It's just kind of goofy, I think.
Yeah, but I think when you're like I think with a movie about hitmen and stuff like that,
you just have to suspend your belief a little
bit.
Yeah. I did get lost in the plot a few times because I was just like the whole plot, like J.K. Simmons is retired from the FBI or whatever, but he's a private investigator. He's trying to find this little girl or this little boy whose family was like trying to cross the border. And so like he meets with this like lethal assassin woman and hoping that she can help him, and then he gets killed by the people who are like abducting these kids from the border. And they're pretty much child trafficking. But then like Ben Affleck figures out that the assassin who set up J.K. Simmons at the beginning is the boy's mother, and they took her and like trained her and fucked with her. That part was weird.
It's like literally like kind of like making like it's kind of like it feels like it's like at this rate it's kind of like how it's like just like that like what sleeper agent type of thing, which is kind of like overplayed at this rate
like
because
Jason Bourne.
Yeah, but even more so because he's not really like even more so because that one's like at least like he was trained and like still like his memories were coming back to them. But this one just felt like it was just like kind of poorly handled because of how she got her like skills basically.
Yeah. I think the other thing I took issue with too is I think they did way too much setup at the beginning, and like there were some really fun and funny scenes in the first half of the movie. Like I thought it was hilarious just seeing what Ben Affleck and John Bernthal's characters had been up to. Like Ben Affleck's at this speed dating thing, and he rigged the whole system so all the women would come to him.
Yeah, and
like,
then just seeing him
funny.
Fail at like with every woman is just like God.
And then like John Bernthal checking into a hotel, like being nervous about talking to a woman he's adopting a puppy from. I thought was funny. And like,
literally him rehearsing in a mirror, just like
or like him talking to that girl eating ice cream when Ben Affleck calls him, and he's like, "Oh, why would I hurt you? What have I done to make you think I would hurt you?" And then he walks out and there's like 20 dead guys on the ground, and it's just like. Like those scenes were fun, but I think they spent too much time like setting up the story, because then when they start to do all the reveals, it's like so late in the game that it's just like, wait, what the fuck?
It just feels like it's happening so fast at the last like 30 minutes of the movie. Because it's like it almost seems like they needed to kind of have a movie between this one and another one, or like a kind of like a quick like they just didn't. They felt like they needed to do all this, but in reality, they kind of didn't. Like those scenes were funny, and like they should have been part of it. But like, I just feel like some of the scenes like maybe were too long.
Yeah. Like I think we're missing like key investigation pieces. You know what I mean? Where they kind of figure out all the clues. But like I liked the end when him and Bernthal went in a full-on assault to like that base camp and got all the kids back and were just decimating dudes. And like I think, like I said, I think that is the highlight of this film, is kind of like that buddy cop chemistry between him and between the two leads. And we're getting a third one, so I think having the third one with them already together will be sweet. Because like you also had to do the thing in this one where you bring them back together, because they kind of had a weird ending in the first one where they weren't sure if they were gonna like reconnect.
Yeah, and I think also the fact of the matter is like I think the probably the reason they did that like kind of recap of everything was to kind of refamiliarize everyone, because it's like, oh, it's been 9 years since like this last movie, so it's like, so anyone who was like fans of the first one, they probably might have seen it before this one, but like feel like most people coming into this haven't, so they're kind of like trying to grab them and bring them along.
Yeah, but I don't know. It was fun. It was a fun action movie to kind of kick off the summer movie scene. I enjoyed it. I'll look forward to a third one. I mean, I think the characters and the cast is unique enough that the plot doesn't matter that much to me. So I don't know. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump over to sports. We got playoff basketball in full effect right now. The Thunder swept the Grizzlies, which I, obviously as a Thunder fan, so excited about. I did get nervous that last game. That team, dude, the Grizzlies look better without Ja Morant. I know it's just one game, but it's just like they played their hearts out, and I think the first 3 games, like I know they were up on us in game 3, but we came back and just smacked them.
Well, yeah, because they also the only reason the Thunder came back is because Ja Morant was out. Yeah. Too. So like, not saying it's the only reason, but it's like you can point to that. Like that's when the comeback started for the Thunder, because he got hurt and then he wasn't in Series 4. So maybe it's just also because they don't want to get embarrassed. They're probably playing their hardest. So like that little bit of effort kind of makes, especially on defense, like kind of makes it like if they get turnovers, then it kind of makes it a little bit more closer game, because I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's exciting though. I think I've told you before, like this is the most excited I've been for the Thunder, I think, since I've been a fan of that. Like this is the most confident I've been.
Yeah.
That they could actually win the finals.
I honestly think that, like, I just like looking at every other team, like kind of having their own issues. Like the Grizzlies, not the Grizzlies, but the Timberwolves, like are good. But I think like the Lakers are kind of sometimes shooting themselves in the foot. At times, like kind of taking more difficult shots than they need to, and kind of they could, like we'll see. Like the series is not over, but I think like they kind of fumbled the games they should have won. They didn't, so it's like ends up being 3-1. They just don't have enough depth to compete with the Thunder, so I think the Thunder would probably win that series, because despite them having LeBron and Luka and Austin Reeves, besides that, it's kind of like who's who of who's going to score like 10 points or 20 points.
Yeah.
Go
we
ahead.
have to play whoever wins the Nuggets versus Clippers.
That's probably the one that would be the most difficult. Like the Clippers look really good.
Yeah, I think honestly that's the most interesting series going on right now.
Dude, imagine.
It's probably the most.
Okay, imagine this. Imagine this. If, like, I think the Thunder is going to beat whoever they play, but imagine this: the Clippers get to the conference finals without Doc Rivers. Do you think that's like?
It's like you know that I've always been very critical of Doc Rivers.
I think he's an okay coach, not
he's
as
totally fine.
He's totally average at best. Like he is not a type to to build up your roster. Like he's the type to like if your roster's really good, they're going to be really good. He's not like in all honesty, I think like looking at him and like as like I don't know, it's just like looking at
he's not. It just used to drive me crazy back in the day, because like after he won the finals with the Celtics and like the years after that, it was like everybody would always make comparisons with him and Popovich, and I'm like, dude, this is not even a close
like
comparison.
the only reason is like Popovich has 5 fucking rings. Like no comparison. He's probably honestly, I may be a little biased, the best basketball coach, like as far as like developing talent, making players better. Like, yeah, you can say, oh well, he doesn't have as many rings as God, I forget his name. Phil Jackson. But Phil Jackson didn't create Kobe, didn't create Shaq. Shaq was already Shaq. Kobe was already. I mean, Kobe wasn't Kobe, but he was becoming Kobe, and Kobe was gonna be Kobe no matter who is coaching him. He didn't make Michael Jordan. He didn't make Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's gonna be Michael Jordan, and that team is amazing. He doesn't that system is he made the triangle may not worked, but it may not work. He didn't create it, but he implemented it. But yeah, still, I think as far as developing players and getting the most out of players, I think Popovich is there.
Oh yeah,
top tier.
I would totally agree. But yeah, that Nuggets Clippers series, that's the one I'm paying attention to, obviously, because the Thunder has to play the winner. But I just think that series is, it's probably the most competitive series right now. Because here's the thing, the Cavs are definitely going to sweep the Heat, right? So that series,
yeah, that series is basically over. They play tomorrow. That series is basically over.
The Warriors Houston series is interesting too. I think that one could go either way, honestly.
I think of all the series, before the playoffs, of all the series that could have been upset, I thought that was going to be the one. Because I thought the Nuggets were going to beat the Clippers. I was hoping the Nuggets were going to beat the Clippers. But at the same time, I think now that one can go either way. Obviously, I know the Magic's probably definitely going to lose to the Celtics.
Yeah, the Celtics just won game 4, so.
Yeah. The one, I thought the Lakers were going to beat Minnesota, but who knows? Unless the Lakers, they have to win out now. I think I don't know. Pacers, now that Dame's back, Milwaukee might be a lot closer.
Yeah, it is a 2-1 series right now, so.
I was hoping that the Knicks and Pistons series was going to be closer.
Just for Detroit fans' sake.
Yeah, and I really like Cade Cunningham, and I just don't want Knicks fans to be happy. Maybe that's a little selfish of me, but I just
Yeah, I don't know. Playoff basketball is awesome though, so
yeah, it's fun.
We'll keep watching. Baseball. Let's jump over to baseball. I know you're not the biggest baseball fan, but you pay attention to the Guardians, so that's all that really counts. But baseball's been hot, man. People are hitting home runs again, going crazy.
It is entertaining to see because I saw a couple updates I think last weekend about the Reds and stuff like that. How they're the Reds are actually good.
Yep. They got Tito, man. Love him.
Literally Tito, and also they have actually good players. So
yeah, but it just feels like baseball is more exciting again. People are just hitting home runs. I feel at a higher fashion than they were at this time last year. Eugenio Suarez had 4 home runs in last night's game.
That's crazy.
Just 4 home. He's one of a handful of people to ever do that. But I will say, as a giant Cleveland baseball fan, our starting pitching is garbage. Every time I watch the game, we're always down 2. We're playing for the most part good. Our hitting has been very good. Our hitting has won us so many games so far, which is great. But I can't wait to get Shane Bieber back, man.
Yeah, at least having one not lights out pitcher will do, and I hope he's lights out when he comes back. It's because fucking
he was so good when he got hurt last year,
and it's yeah, go ahead.
He had 20. It was through 2 games, he had 25 strikeouts and zero hits, and then he got Tommy Johns. It was tragic.
Yeah, thankfully, people have come back from Tommy Johns and been just as good now because before
nowadays.
Yeah, before it was Tommy John's career ending.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think once he gets back, we'll be pretty solid. It's hard because the back end of our starting rotation, they're just young. They're gonna get better. Gavin Williams looks good. He kind of got beat up the other night, but he looks good. He's young. Logan Allen's young. He got beat up today, but
yeah, I think maybe I'm thinking maybe future, maybe as the season goes, they'll get better, hopefully. And kind of knowing kind of as they learn, because it's different to be told what players how players like to hit balls and kind of and like or like watching it, but versus actually going up against them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's not like you're playing against them the whole series. You're playing against them one. Sometimes you have like one opportunity. They might not like. You might only see that person one time, and if you fuck up that one time, you fucked up that one time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The biggest problem with our starting rotation too is like they don't when they give up way too many home runs. Like they just like I don't mind if you give up a big hit and like score one run out of it, but like these 3-run homers are just fucking killing us. Dude.
Yeah, it's like there's already 2 people on base. It's like, and then it's also defeating most of the time when it's like 0 outs, and you're just like, well, fuck.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of them too come with 2 outs, and they're just like they throw a fastball right down the middle, and I'm like,
and then the dude is just like, yeah.
So I don't know. I'm loving baseball right now. But let's just jump over to the NFL. We had the draft this week.
Yeah.
Exciting times for most people. I don't get that excited about the draft. I watched like 30 minutes of round 1, and that was it.
I just had it on the background while I was playing Baldur's Gate with Mitchell and Jimmy.
Yeah. I did find it funny though. Like I watched the McAfee broadcast for night 1, and like everybody on his panel were all saying the same thing. They were basically all like, they were all just like, I'm worried the Browns don't know how to run an organization.
And then they, but then they freaking traded, and then they were like, well, maybe they do.
Yeah. Dude, the Browns QB situation is hilarious. There's like 5 quarterbacks on their roster right now.
I think that's the only thing. Like, the Browns know how to, like, get, like, they, honestly, they swindled the Jags. Let's be real. They fucking swindled the Jags. Like, they got their draft pick next year, like the first round draft pick. Like, that could be, that's, like, easily probably a top 15 draft pick.
Yeah.
Like, unless, like, Travis Hunter is like, I think he'll be good at one position, and like putting him in like I think like yeah, you could have him on like 4th down plays or like clutch 3rd down plays depending on offense or defense, but like I feel like he's gonna get gassed. Like,
yeah, I don't love him. I think he's like a gadget player that you can utilize, kind of like you said. I don't think he's going to be like this crazy starting quarterback.
Yeah, I think he's. I don't know if he's a better cornerback or wide receiver, because like he was playing the whole game, so I'm like, he's not playing 100%, like 100% as far as.
I thought you were talking about Shedeur Sanders. You're talking about Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter for the
I think Travis
Jags.
Hunter will be good.
I think he will be good. I think he'll be good, but I think there's no way he's playing both sides of the ball.
Oh, no. I think they'll put him in maybe on like some defensive packages every once in a while. But I think he'll be good.
Yeah, so like to tangent a little bit for the Browns, like having 5 QBs. I don't understand if they're like, why would I think Shedeur is better than that guy from Oregon, personally. I think he is, as far as like from what I've seen him do in college versus what he had outside of Travis Hunter in college. Like, I feel like Oregon is a better team than Colorado, so like I feel like he's better because he had faced more adversity as far as like not having as good players to play with as far as versus Oregon, because Oregon's like was stacked last year. Also, like his comments about like cold weather play, but like I don't know. I just don't know what they're doing. Do you think? I just think they had so many picks. They were just like, well, he felt. I don't think they maybe intended to draft Shedeur, but they like were like, well, if he's here at 6, we might as well take him because he's the best player in the draft right now.
Yeah, I think that might be what it was, like a fantasy football
and like,
style thing where it's just like you take the best player available.
And if one of them turns out to be like a generational, like a maybe not generational, but a starter in the league, then it's a good pick. Like,
yeah, the Shedeur Sanders thing is weird, man. I just thought, look, I don't have any problems with him, but like it is like the hype around him is just kind of obnoxious because I don't know, like in the like I did think it was funny that night 1 of the draft he had that whole custom room built with like the hats, and like it was just so embarrassing, dude. I felt bad, but at the same time it was like funny, so I'm just
Shiloh, his brother, did say like, "Hey, all of this is because of you, Dad." Like basically blaming Deion because it's Deion. Like obviously,
Yeah.
it's gonna be hype around Deion Sanders' son. Like even if Deion wasn't like coaching, I think the hype would still be huge.
Yeah. It's
Because
just Dion has such a big personality.
yeah, he's like honestly in comparison, like Shador and I feel like Shiloh have like smaller personalities than Dion because Dion was Dion.
Yeah. Yeah, so that whole situation is going to be interesting. And then you have Coach Olbrich's son prank calling him during the draft.
Yeah.
Acting like that's such a dick move.
Yeah, it's definitely the Giants GM, like, because someone like mentioned that the Giants GM's daughter goes to school with that kid, and pretty sure that she leaked Shador's number somehow because she probably got it from from her dad.
Interesting.
So
yeah,
like,
there's been a lot of rumors flying around about
Yeah.
Shador and his like in-person interviews and stuff with a
Yeah.
lot of these
people,
coaches and
there were so
GMs.
many memes about it. Like literally, there's a what like people wondering what he did, and just like I just feel like I feel like if you see the talent, it doesn't matter like what questions are they really asking? Like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like until you get the kid out on into the practice field, you don't really know what you have.
Yeah.
Because like he was like trending to be in the first round, like I don't know, but to take honestly, the Saints should have taken him. To take that one dude, some of the highlights of that kid are awful.
Oh, Tyler Show.
Yeah, Tyler Show.
Shao, whatever. Yeah, I wanted to talk about that. Probably the biggest surprise in the draft, honestly. They took him so high. Like, what did they take him in? The second round?
Let me look.
He was projected to go like 4th or 5th, I think.
Oh wait, second round 40th pick. Like, there's so many better quarterbacks after him.
Yeah.
Like Shador, the dude from Oregon. I don't even know his name. Even Will Howard, like I think is better than him.
Yeah, so Will Howard, I've said this before. I think Will Howard's the best quarterback in the draft. I really do.
I don't see it. I just don't see it because Ohio State had such a good offensive line and such good like weapons at receiver and tight end. Like,
So, yeah, no, I totally agree. My thing with Will Howard is, and I've always been very, very critical of OSU's quarterbacks going into the draft. They've mostly been terrible after getting drafted. But my thing with Will Howard is, like, he won Big 12 Player of the Year, transferred to OSU. From all the accounts from, like, inside the building and everyone who knows the situation, when he came to OSU, Ryan Day pretty much confronted him and said, all of your fundamentals are atrocious. Like, we need to
really?
change. Yeah, like, he pretty much changed him into a different quarterback.
yeah, like that's why he kind of like that's why last year was his best year and like kind of like compared to like it was a huge difference like when he first came in to now.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't say he's not bad. He's not good. I will say he's
Yeah.
like 100% like was developing throughout, and it showed. And he actually took
think-
it seriously.
Even though they were obviously that team that won the national championship was very talented, but he was electric in the playoffs. Like, he was incredible. Just like it seemed like even that Texas game, which was probably their toughest game in the playoffs, he looked unfazed by everything.
Yeah,
Just
I
like,
think. Yeah, just like
nothing.
yeah, and I think also like that's why it's like I think he'll be fine, but I don't know if he'll be the best.
I like him going to the Steelers. I think
Yeah,
he could be, because their quarterback situation's so up in the air.
he
right
could
now.
be
It's
the
just him and
starter.
Mason. Yeah,
He could be the
just him and
starter,
Mason
and
Rudolph.
honestly, I would rather if I'm the Steelers organization, I would rather have a rookie contract than paying Aaron Rodgers like $100 million.
I mean, that's the thing right now. It all hinges on Rodgers and his decision. So
Like, I mean, I guess it's like his decision, but the Steelers don't have to say his decision. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, a team will probably sign him. Like, if it's Aaron Rodgers, like people want to get Aaron Rodgers. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm like the
But even if you're Will Howard, like, wouldn't you want to sit behind and learn a 4-time MVP?
Maybe, but also like if I have the opportunity, like if, like yeah, but it's also like wouldn't be his choice in the end. Like it's up to the Steelers. Like if I'm the Steelers organization, I looking at like who I have like in my cap space and like kind of like, like do I want to, like what if like I pay him and he gets hurt? Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
are they trading Pickens, by the way?
I hope not, because like
I keep seeing rumors flying around.
I hope they don't, because that'd be stupid. Like, why would you trade for DK Metcalf and and then trade Pickens? Maybe wait. Like, is Pickens due a contract like at the end of this year?
I think it's just because of the way his season ended last year. He kind of was just like in his head a lot and just acted kind of crazy towards the end of the year. And I think the Steelers, with how many head cases they've had at receiver the past like decade, they're probably just like, Jesus Christ, we don't want to go through this again.
Okay, so this is the final year of his rookie contract. So I guess it would make sense if they trade him, because he's going to get a lot of... I guess it all depends on, like... if I think, in all honesty, I think they should keep him this year and then maybe trade... Like, if he's not doing good, trade him at the trade deadline.
Yeah, that'd probably be the smarter move.
Like, maybe. Or, like, do a sign-and trade. Like... I don't know if he's got a restricted rookie contract at the end of it, or if it's like he's a free agent after this year. But like I don't know. Like when was the last time the Steelers had two good wide receivers? You know what I mean?
It was probably Emmanuel Sanders and Antonio Brown.
That's literally like 10 years ago. Like
more than that, dude. That was
like 2012.
That was when they went to the Super Bowl against the Packers.
Yeah.
So it was a while ago. Yeah, who knows? The last thing with the draft I wanted to talk about was Ashton Genty. Do you think Genty is going to be good?
I think he's going to be good, but like not on the Raiders.
Yeah.
I think
don't know, it's tough. Like he was so good last year in college. Like 29 touchdowns is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. And like
2,600 yards, but like you played at Boise State. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. Well, I think in all honesty, it's like he'll be good. Like because like look at there's been
massive.
I think he'll be as good, like low floor as like I don't know, like good. He'll just be a good player. But the problem is he went to a shitty organization. The problem is like I think in all honesty, I hope.
Well, buddy, Tom Brady's there. They're turning that program around.
Okay, he's part owner. It doesn't make it does just because you're the owner doesn't mean that you can run a team. Just because you're a good quarterback doesn't mean you can run a team.
Yeah, well, we've seen that because he's not a good commentator. As much as I love him as a player,
yeah,
he's ass at commentating.
It's just like he's just too. I don't know, like his interviews are good. They're fascinating, but it's like he just can't be consistent. Like he's just not entertaining because all of his like literally it's just like I feel like as far as like players he's probably one of the more boring players in all honesty.
Because it's just really like have that good of a personality.
Yeah, like it's just like Tom all Brady. Football.
I'm a Tom Brady fan.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy him in interviews, but I thought the roast of Tom Brady was hilarious, but because of all the comedians that were there, not because of him. Like,
yeah,
he had some quick hitters like in his roast back to everybody, but like I was just like, okay, Tom, you kind of sound like a goof. Like you're just he's just so goofy and like corny, and I don't know.
Yeah,
but I don't know. We'll see. I think Genty has he's obviously very talented.
Yeah. I think he'll be good. I think
wrecking ball too.
I think also look at the situation with Saquon. Like,
yeah,
he went to a shitty organization, Giants, shitty, and then when you look, then he had his best season when he went to a team that actually knows how to build a team in the Eagles.
Yeah,
and like, yeah, I mean like. It'll suck for Raiders fans, but like unless they can build quickly, he's gone. Like, hey, in 4 years, Joe Mixon might retire. So Texans, pick him up. He's from Texas, right? I'm pretty sure.
Man, people need to stop sleeping on my boy Aiden O'Connell. That's all I'm saying. The Raiders are about to be nasty.
Who is a wide receiver on the Raiders?
I don't know, dude. I mean, they brought back Hunter Renfrow, didn't they?
Outside of what's his name? Bauer? Is it Brock Bowers?
I think Brock Bowers. Yeah.
He was good last year, so like, but they didn't win games. It didn't translate to wins. Like, he's good and Gentry's good. They just don't have an offensive line.
They almost beat the Chiefs. They should have beat the Chiefs. That was a bullshit call at the end of that game.
Yeah, the Chiefs should have lost a lot of games, but you know.
All right, let's just jump over. Let's wrap this thing up. Let's give some final thoughts. Anything else we've been watching, reading, listening to, whatever. A lot of shows on right now. I've been watching The Studio with Seth Rogen on Apple. Very funny,
really?
Very good. Yeah, it's good. It's like he's the head exec of a movie studio.
Oh yeah, I saw trailers for that.
Yeah, so every episode, it's kind of cool because every episode, it's every episode's different. Like it's a serial. It's serial style. So like every episode's like they're doing something different. So like one episode was all about this production he's managing, trying to get this one shot before the sun goes down, and he like ruins the whole fucking thing.
Oh, that's so good.
But then there's this episode. There's this movie he's checking in on, and they lost a reel of film, and he's trying to locate it. But the whole episode's designed like a LA noir mystery. So each episode kind of takes on a different movie style, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And it's funny, it's hilarious. So the cast is really good. And then on Apple, I've been watching Your Friends and Neighbors with John Hamm, which is also very good, pretty funny. He's like this wealthy, divorced dude, like stockbroker who got fired after his divorce, and he's like running out of money. So he starts stealing from all of his wealthy friends and like pawning off their jewelry and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just the crazy situations he gets into, but it's very funny. It's a very like heartfelt show too, because it deals a lot with like divorce trauma and like kids being neglected by like wealthy parents and shit like that, and like people who like fall in love, and then when they get all this money, how it like puts so much strain on their relationship, and like it highlights too like the absurdity of like the uber wealthy just like keeping up with the Joneses and everything, just having all these ridiculous like the collection of purses and shoes that they never wear and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cool because like a lot of times when he steals stuff, he'll like narrate and market the product to the audience. Like John Hamm does this like narration over like them doing like these close-ups of like jewelry or whatever, and it's always like very quippy and sarcastic, like just roasting wealthy people and like all the shit they buy and stuff like that. So it's cool. It's a fun show. I enjoy it a lot. Yeah. So that's kind of what I've been watching. And finished up Daredevil Born Again, obviously, which I liked for the most part. But there was some stuff at the back end I didn't love.
I thought it ended well, like as far as like setting up for the next seasons, because I feel like a lot of times like Marvel shows kind of don't set up the next season well.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the first one that you look at it and you're like, oh, I know exactly how the season's going to start. Yeah. Maybe except for like, I think Loki did it well.
I loved Loki. I think it's the best show they've ever made. Honestly.
Yeah, I just want more Tom Hiddleston, honestly. Just like more Loki shit. Like in general, Loki's such a cool character. But yeah, like I finished it as well. I flew through it because once I started it, I just kind of couldn't stop watching it. It was good. I felt like they tried to maybe cram a little too much into the season.
Yeah,
because it feels like 3 separate like arcs.
Yeah, I think my problem with the finale was like I don't feel like they set up the vigilante storyline well enough, because you don't really see that much vigilante stuff happening throughout the season. So it's weird that like Wilson has this vendetta against vigilantes, but you don't really see
outside of like the White Tiger. And like I feel like
you don't even see him fighting people either. It's just like
no, like that camera outside of like the beginning scene of him
Yeah.
taking on those cops, and like that one film, that CCTV footage of him fighting.
Yeah.
But I wish they kind of showed more, like kind of cut. Like I liked what they did with the BBTV, where they kind of like talked to like the New Yorkers and kind of like talk. Like I like that, like kind of, which kind of set up the episode, or like kind of reflected on the episode. But I wish they kind of did that, but like showed like clippings of vigilantes like in the news, like newspaper clippings and stuff like that. Like that could have been also cool to kind of like set up the tone of like, oh, vigilante strike, like other than was it Muse, there wasn't really any.
So good, but
any,
wasted.
Yeah, like he was so cool, but I didn't like.
That could have been a whole season by itself too. I think
Yeah,
you're right.
I-
They crammed too much. Like that should have been a season, like him facing off against Muse, because I felt like Muse was such an interesting character.
Yeah, he could have been. They could have like changed the tone of the show and made it like more horror-esque and kind of like him leaving clues and kind of like who is this character, because they kind of like figured out really quickly who he was,
Yeah.
and like
So he might come back. So there's been rumors floating that he's coming back for season 2. In the comics, one of his powers is like not immortality, but like it's hard to kill him.
mhm.
Guess so. Like he has like a power in the comics where like he might seem
I-
dead, but he's not dead. If that makes
Yeah,
sense.
because I thought he like died. I thought Daredevil killed him, like in the
Yeah.
when he saves the one girl.
Yeah, he was choking him out.
Yeah, like I thought he killed him, like basically,
Yeah,
because it
but-
was like kind of like a violent final hit.
Yeah. The action was good though. I'm glad they didn't. Like I loved the action. It was very reminiscent of the Netflix one.
Yeah,
I thought. I will say, in a positive factor, I think this one was more stylistic than
Yeah.
the Netflix one.
I like this one more because it kind of like beckons to the comic books, and he uses his grappling hook thing, like
Lot,
staff, way more, and I like that because he uses that shit a ton
Yeah.
in like and the way he uses it, like when he throws it and ricochets off the wall, like kind of like similar to Bullseye, but like he uses it because he kind of knows like sounds and stuff like that,
Yeah.
kind of like using sound, like I don't know. And also I thought they used his like they showed the scope of his like powers, his like pseudo power. I guess he does have powers, like his powers a little bit more because he has like super hearing.
Yeah.
They showed the scope in this more than they did in like the original trilogy or the original 3 seasons, because they kind of had a lot of scenes of like him telling when people were lying, of him like hearing their heartbeats, like when they died, and
Yeah,
or like
when Foggy died.
yeah, that was rough.
I love that face off with Bullseye though.
Mm-hmm.
That whole like first 20 minutes was awesome, and I liked having Bernthal back too because I love Bernthal as the Punisher.
Mm-hmm.
Even though his inclusion was kind of weird, he was just there
There.
when they needed him. Yeah, he was just like.
Yeah.
That's the thing too. Like, I wish we would have seen him doing some vigilante shit. Like,
Yeah,
costume
like
runs.
him, because he like did mention that he was just out like fucking shit up, like what? Because he's
Yeah.
just like going. He like literally is just Punisher's whole thing is like
Does
his
not give a fuck.
yeah his like him battling his fucking like like I don't know. It's like it's just like him battling his PTSD and kind of like trying to deal with that and kind of like all that shit and just like figuring out like just like leaning into his violence and like just fucking shit up. I did like that they used the like the Punisher like cops like from the comics and stuff like that, and kind of like
Yep.
honestly I think they handled, like people were saying that like they handled it better than in the comics, because he actually like I don't know, I think they just kind of like fumbled it a little bit with how they handled it, but I think they did a little bit more justice to it, where it's like those cops are kind of like pieces of shit, and he just was like, he's like, dude, you look up to me, I don't give a fuck, like just like kind of like I'm the worst person to look up to, and then he just like also like
Yeah. He was just roasting him.
I thought he was gonna be
His ass beat.
I thought he was gonna be captured longer, but like the last scene, he just was like,
Broke that
"Hey,
dude's
can you
arm.
like?" And then he just gets out basically. Like,
Yeah. There's supposed to be. Well, there's a Punisher like a special coming out in the fall. I think maybe Or not
They
in the
might
fall,
show
maybe
that.
next year.
They might show what he does after that.
Yeah. I will say I was disappointed. Like at the end when Matt's given like the narration, he tells Karen they need an army, and I was like, I got myself type. I was like, oh, the Defenders. We're gonna see the Defenders reunite.
Mm-hmm.
And like when he opened those bar doors, I was like hoping to see like Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist, and then it's just like a bunch of cops.
You know,
I was just
you know,
like, oh, fuck.
you know when the driver, the one
Oh, yeah, you
driver.
said Luke.
Yeah, I thought it was freaking Luke Cage because he's bald. He's like bigger, but it was just some guy named Luke. I'm like, well, okay, what a freaking like fake off.
Yeah.
Like,
I think overall though, I enjoyed it a lot though. I mean,
Yeah.
the cast is good, and like
Yeah, it's like-
DiCaprio and Cox are both so good in
Mhm.
these roles.
it sucks
love
that he
seeing-
can't. It sucks that Vincent D'Onofrio's Fisk can't be in a fucking movie because of
I think they
freaking
will at some point. Maybe he'll face off against Tom Holland. That'd be cool.
yeah.
But I like seeing Fisk pop that dude's head. That was
Yeah.
cool.
That was intense.
It's rough, dude. I didn't
Like-
think they were gonna go that far.
No, that was like probably the most violent thing I've ever seen in a Disney like
Yeah.
property. It was just so jelly. Like it was so like it was like I would have liked to touch the prop. Like that, it was cool. But it was just like I was not expecting that, and then he just did it, and I was like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
poor guy. The guy was like the only one who was standing up to him in the
I
government.
know. But yeah. Oh, I watched the first 3 episodes of Andor too. They were okay.
They're okay.
Yeah, I mean, some of these Disney Plus Star Wars shows, they piss me off because the first episode's really good, the third episode's really good. A lot of the second episode feels like unnecessary filler.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just, I don't know. I hate when they
Well-
do that shit. For the most part, it's good. Like it's setting up for like a cool season, I think.
Yeah, I think a lot of earlier episodes of like some like Star Wars stuff are kind of like feel like they're just trying to get you into the universe. Isn't it supposed to be kind of like this is like each 3 episodes it's its own like kind of like smaller arc
Yeah.
take place. So like kind of like I think if you look at it from like its own complete thing, then like you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, but it's good. I mean, I have hope because the first season was some of the best Star Wars we've gotten in decades, I think. So
I think
like,
it's
have
probably
hope.
some of the best TV like.
Yeah, it's very good. Oh, and The Last of Us started. I totally forgot about that.
I watched that most recent episode. I did not. I obviously. I will. Yeah, it was pretty brutal. It's different than the game. Game.
So I've never played the game, but I've seen that cutscene.
Literally, it kind of is like because you don't know who Abby is in the game. You don't know her motivations. You don't know who she is. You're just like Joel just saves this girl, and she brings them to her hideout, and then they say that they're fireflies, and you're like, oh fuck. Or like no, they say that their names, and then they kind of then you see like they're like ex Fireflies, and then you're just like, what the fuck is gonna happen? And then, it's a lot. I think it's a lot more violent in the game. If you wanna like,
Yeah, because she beats the fuck out of him.
yeah,
Well,
and also
so
Abby's.
that-
That's the one gripe I have. Though Caitlin Dever is like she kind of that monologue that she gave, that whole performance that she gave was immaculate and really good. Just the fact that she's so tiny,
Yeah,
because Abby in the game is a fucking brick shithouse.
that's what people were saying too. A lot of people take issue with the casting of that show. To be honest,
Yeah,
I don't know. I enjoy it.
I do
will
like
say,
it.
I watched the cutscene. We didn't really in the show. They didn't really see her beat the fuck out of him. I mean, you see her swinging him with the golf club once, but then it like cuts back,
Mm-hmm.
and then you see her punching him, but you don't really see him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like it was brutal, but it wasn't as brutal as it could have been. I feel
Mm-hmm. Like just seeing Pedro Pascal's fucking skull get caved in, just on
Yeah.
like literally like his skull get caved in like he did in fucking Game of Thrones.
Yeah. He gets, and then she just stabs him, and you're like, Jesus.
Yeah, that was rough. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I also thought, Bella Ramsey's performance like was like gut wrenching kind of.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah, when they have her pinned.
yeah, and she just watches her like stab him through the neck, and just like, oh god.
Yeah, it's crazy. I wonder if people who have never really played the game or even heard anything about the game are pissed that Pedro Pascal.
Oh, there was a bunch of like people like reaction videos of people's like parents like watching the show. My mom was crying because I watched it with her.
Oh, she watches it?
Yeah, she like teared up. She had teared up, and I think she cried because she like after it, she like would like sniffed and like kind of sounded like her eyes were red. So like she definitely cried. I think during it because it was rough.
Yeah, dude. You know what's funny is like just thinking about him in Game of Thrones is like everyone always makes fun of Sean Bean for dying, but Pedro Pascal I feel like dies in a lot of shit. Like, he just...
I mean, yeah. I'm trying to think of what else he's died in.
There was a movie I'm pretty sure with I think he died in it with he was in with Ben Affleck and Oscar Isaac.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I mean, like the two biggest like franchises he's been in, he's died. Maybe we'll see an on-screen death of him die as Mr. Fantastic. I'm just kidding.
So he died in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He was in The Equalizer too, and he died.
Oh, I never saw that, so.
I've never seen any of those shitty movies. Apparently he jokes about it, that he always gets killed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think he's in enough things where he lives. Like, Sean Bean is, like, Trevelyan, when he played Trevelyan, he was in that random, like, movie with Christian Bale, like, the sci-fi movie. He died in, like, the first 10 minutes. Sean Bean, he dies. Boromir, he dies. Like,
Pedro Pascal died in Gladiator 2 as well. I don't know if you ever saw Gladiator.
Oh, yeah.
But
oh, yeah.
He does die in that.
I don't know. That's basically what I've been watching.
Oh, he's in Kingsman Golden Circle too. He dies in that as well.
Did finish a book today. Did he die in that?
Right. Well, let's wrap this thing up. Yeah. Thanks for checking us out. If you want to see more, you can go to our Instagram, Basement Boys Podcast. Check out my main channel, 330 Movies, for any movie reviews, trailer reactions, etc. And we will be back here every Sunday. Thanks for listening.
See you. Bye.